Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Show here. Now then, I'm going to make this episode a bit shorter because, well, I actually did kinda sleep through my alarm clock, so I need to shower and then go to work after this. Now then, whenever we last left off, Deku, he had just beaten Toru in the finals. And Deku, he will be awarded first place. Now then, All Might, he would just be telling Deku that was quite impressive, and he's surprised at how durable he really is. He's never seen a person take that much damage before, and survive. Now, Deku, he would just say thank you. But it's kind of Vengeance's whole thing. And he would shake All Might's hand as he gets first place. Toru would be told that she did very well, and that she's actually done fairly good for someone who has had a hard time controlling that quirk. Along with, well, this new one. So, just exactly what shall we do? Let me think. Now, All Might would just say that he could probably have Aizawa teach her something about that, since she was able to use it sort of like that. Besides, it should all be fine now. You have it under control, correct? Yes, All Might, I do. Okay, very good then. As he would jump over to Todoroki. Todoroki, he's still running his hand across his face, thinking that it's still hard to believe that he's healed. Where is his edgelord streak now? Just kidding. It's still there. Now, Todoroki, he is still trying to come to terms with this. He's still trying to come to terms with the fact that Deku knows. How does he even know? All Might would kind of break its focus, saying that young Midoriya should not have done that to you. But he somewhat has given you a bit of a gift. So please, just accept it. It's sort of hard to refuse at this point. Now, All Might, he would just say that as you have Deku, he would have been pulled aside after the sports festival to talk to All Might. All Might, he's trying to ask exactly how he's able to do this and how he's able to heal others. To which Deku would have explained exactly what he can do, asking if Deku can heal him. He would do so, of course, but, well, All Might, he would have felt a bit of the pain, as he feels the pain of his organs regenerating. Everything regenerating, that's gonna fucking hurt. So he would actually somewhat go into shock for a second before passing out. Deku having to take the weak form of All Might to Recovery Girl. As while he's in bed recovering, Recovery Girl would ask him exactly what did he do, as she can see that he's actually somewhat looking a bit younger. In fact, the man looks 20 years younger. His eyes don't look hollow anymore, he actually does look like he eats proper nutrition, and he doesn't look like a skeleton man. So exactly what happened to him? To which Deku would give the explanation. Now, while he's explaining this, Vengeance would immediately be set off, as Deku knows what that is. He would just immediately leave, as Toru, she was supposed to meet with All Might, but she just was told that Deku, he was carrying some guy. So Deku would have opened up the door and seen Toru, as she would be asking exactly where's All Might. Deku would just say that he's on the bed, but he has a bigger problem. She's coming by. Who's coming by? The other writer. Now, while that's happening, Deku, he would smell something else in the air, but he doesn't really care. So he would have just started running away, as Toru would go to see All Might. She's a bit conflicted because she wants to see this other rider, but, well, she knows that she can't really be on the bike. So, how is that going to work? Now, this is where Toru, she would just come up to a conclusion. She'll let Deku handle this. While she watches that All Might, what happened to him? Recovery Girl giving the explanation. Now then, after that, Deku, Deku, he would have driven away from UA as he would meet up with the rider. Somewhere private. Like a parking garage. Now, the rider, she would have had her ghost rider form on, as she would meet with Deku. He would just ask exactly what is she doing here. Well, listen, I got a little tip that one of those demons was on Earth. Figured you would want to know. Wouldn't Vengeance feel it? Not really. He can't feel the disturbances come out of hell. He can only feel them in this world. Okay. So exactly what's the problem? Well, this spirit, or well, demon you can say, has attached itself to a rather nasty man. And a very tormented soul. Not sure about his name or the details, but, well, if this man is allowed, possession and finds Toru, he will absolutely kill her. So, you must find him and take him down. I got a tip that he's in Hosu City. Really? Yeah. So anyways, once you enter the city, that is where you will stop, or start to smell him. So why don't you just take him down? Well, I could, but this isn't my problem. Besides, I'm trying to test you. Test me, really? Yes, you don't just earn a writer's respect. You don't just get it, you earn it. By proving yourself. More than capable. Now, Deku, he would have just accepted this as the writer, she would immediately leave. Deku just watches as she just can't be seen anymore. The trail of fire disappearing. Now, Deku, he would leave the canal. Or, the building, not the canal. Jesus. So anyways, after that happens, they're all in class. The smell in the air smells of, vengeance, payback, and, sadness. As he does look around, he would see that no one is around. Or, no one he can see would be sad. Until he can see Ida trying to write down his hero name. It is not working, since he keeps shaking his hand and somewhat just doesn't want to move the marker. As he can see Ida visibly angry, thinking that that's something not right, as they would go for hero names. Deku going for the Ghost Rider, since it would be obvious. Now, Toru, I want to say she would call herself something like, I don't know why, but I can see her calling herself Circus Act. Since there's a lot of ways that she can use One for All, her invisibility, and Black Whip, I can see them like, the trapeze. I don't know why. I can see them being used for like a lot of different stuff in the circus. Now then, I want to say she'd go by Circus Acts. So that would be her hero name. Now, Toru and Deku are discussing internships as he is throwing out most of the ones that aren't in Hosu City. Everyone being somewhat surprised that he narrowed his search range down to just one city. Now then, Deku, he is just saying that I already had Endeavor's name in the pool, so it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. He's a fire hero, so well, it's at least good. Now, Todoroki, I want to say that he would actually pick half and half. Since, well, during the time after the sports festival, he did go to see his mother. However, she almost cried whenever she saw that he did not have a scar, so it healed properly. Or, no, wait, that's something else. As whenever she did hug him, she actually did pull him away to touch his face to run over, to see that that's not just makeup or some way to trick her. Which would have made her cry more whenever she does realize that it's real. Todoroki spending some time with her to actually get things figured out. Now, he would call himself half and half as he just wants to use his quirk to be a hero. Endeavor's goal doesn't matter to him anymore. It's pointless. Now then, with that being said, Todoroki would pick half and half. And they would all choose their internships as they would leave. Deku, he would be talking with Ida, as Ida would just say that he is going to be fine. He chose the hero manual, so well, it should be okay. As he would turn and walk away. Deku knowing that that's not alright. As Ida would have a bit of fire in his eyes. And he would leave. Now, Deku and Todoroki, they would leave for Endeavor's agency as Toru, she actually is going to see someone else. She thinks it's All Might's former mentor. Since All Might, he did wake up sometime during the week and actually talk to her. Which would have been surprising. Because All Might would just say that he's been up for around a couple days, or well, a couple hours actually. He forgets how many because he's just been up and around. To which Toru would just ask a question. How long have you been in your buff form? Oh, well, I sort of woke up in it. What? Yes, well, young Midoriya's abilities, they actually extend farther than I even thought possible. After seeing him recover from that heavy amount of damage inflicted, I sort of approached him about this topic. And he was able to heal you? Yes, well, the pain, however, was great. Apparently, his form of healing isn't non-painful. So you feel the backlash. Now, Deku, Toru, she would just talk with All Might as she learns about Gran Torino. Now then, that is where Deku, he is leaving with Todoroki and she is going with Gran Torino. She would learn about folk howling, except Gran Torino would have not expected her to know about it already. As she would learn about the whole jumping off the walls technique and proper ways to use one for all. Because the way she has been using them aren't really tactical, they're more just silly. So Gran Torino is actually trying to get a bit of seriousness put into Toru, since they basically have to skip the learning process and just cut right to training. Now then, Todoroki and Deku. These two would walk into Todoroki's agency as that fire lady at the desk, she would just say that Endeavor's expecting them on the top floor, as she would turn seeing Todoroki. vaguely seeing something green behind him, as she would have just jumped up asking exactly who are you, as Deku would have just turned his face, her immediately realizing who that is, as she's somewhat fangirl saying that it's the Ghost Rider, out loud, quite loud, perhaps, everyone immediately turning to see Deku. Deku would just take a deep sigh as he would just say that if they have any questions, and they would all immediately run up to him. Deku immediately feeling regret. Now then, after that happens, about 15 minutes would pass and Endeavor would come down the elevator, trying to figure out exactly why they're late. As soon as the elevator door opens, he would see that everyone in his agency has crowded around Deku, and are asking to see him transform and how he uses his quirk, everything about that. Since he's able to melt through that much ice in less than a minute, that's pretty impressive heat. Now then, Endeavor, he would have broken this all up, as he does somewhat try a different approach towards Deku and Todoroki. Mainly because if he's considered to be guilty by the Ghost Rider, and the Ghost Rider punishes the guilty, then he clearly has done something wrong. So he tries to be a bit more gentle in his approach to them. However, being Endeavor, it comes off of him as him being a bit too strong, since he would try telling them to go to the top floor, get things ready, do all that. Except he says it in a bit more of a calm demeanor. However, he does somewhat rush them as they are in the elevator, waiting for it to go up. The internship would begin, and they would be training, as Todoroki and Deku, they are just talking about fire. Todoroki seeing that Deku can actually use his fire without even having to transform, as he would just show them everything he can do. Endeavor being surprised that his fire is that hot, and well, impressed. Somewhat giving Deku respect. Now, that was how the internship would go, as Todoroki would get better control over his fire, and the stain attack would happen. However, this time it's a bit different. As soon as they leave for patrol, as soon as Sting gets in Deku's radius, and the rider can track him, Deku would have immediately broken away, summoning the bike, as he would be following. Endeavor would have been a bit confused as to what's happened, but before he can even follow, this is where he would see explosions in the distance, as he just says, "Damn it," and begins to run over there. Now then, that is where Deku, he would arrive to see that there is another Spirit of Vengeance here. However, it's not just that. The Spirit of Vengeance is in armor and he cannot find Ida. As he watches this spirit burst hellfire out of his legs and immediately dashed forward, as he begins to scream. Stain being in shock and confused that this is the rider. As Deku, he would have come in, driving the bike on the wall and immediately jumping down. Stain would have looked up to see another. Wait, there's two of them. As Deku would have smashed Stain in the face with his left arm. Now then, that is where Deku, he would just turn to see that Ida's a Ghost Rider. That's not good. Did you make a deal with him? What? Mephisto, did you make a deal? Well, yes. Anyways, as that is happening, Deku, he would immediately restrain and take down Stain, wrapping him up in chains and smashing him against the wall, as he would just say this demon's name, and the horns would appear. The demon immediately freaking out. The demon would just say that they're not even supposed to be here. They weren't even supposed to be here. Trust me. I was just trying to get away. I wasn't going to murder that girl. Wrong answer. As Deku would just rip these two apart. he rips the demon from Stain's soul. However, Stain's soul is still tainted. And Deku feels like delivering a bit of penance. So after he kills the demon, and it basically disappears, he would have beaten Stain to a pulp. Not giving him penance, however, but Ida is still a rider. Todoroki, he would have ran out to see that there are two of them, being in shock that Ida is a rider too, as he tries to get their attention. Ida, he would immediately turn as he looks. Deku, he would have gone to run after. He would go after Ida as he was taking off, going at quite a high speeds. Deku would hop on his bike as he would just say he'll explain later, as these two would begin a chase. What can be best described as this. There are blurs. There is one fiery blur that looks like it's running, and has fire coming out from underneath its legs. While there is another one, clearly the rider because of the bike. So something is going on. Ida's probably running around Mach 1 to Mach 2, while Deku, he's driving around that same speed. He would have caught up, as eventually these two would be at a bridge. Deku, he would have been able to grab Ida and actually restrain him against it, as their heat is beginning to melt into it, and somewhat take it down. As Deku is telling Ida that he needs to calm down. Making a deal with Mephisto, what did it bring you? You need to be careful with those. As Vengeance would just say that he can handle it. Give him control and he can strip the rider out of him. Deku asking if it would kill Ida. As soon as he hears the word no, he would hand over control. As the rider would be holding Ida up, telling him that he made the wrong deal. Whatever the cost was, it's not worth it. So, as Ida would feel this pain, as the rider inside him is torn away from his soul, as he would hit the ground onto the bridge. Deku, he would have grabbed Ida before he can even fall, and pull him back up. As the rider would somewhat kinda feel a bit in pain. Deku, he would just talk to Ida, as Ida would just ask exactly why did he make a deal. It kept me alive. But this power, you feel like that all the time? And that transformation. Yes. Listen, it's maddening at first, but it gets dull over time. That's not true. You both know that it's not true. It's not. Well, as Deku, he would hop back on the bike, holding out, somewhat helping Ida get onto the bike without getting himself burned. Keeping his fire to a minimum, he would drive off the bridge and get them back over to where the internship is. While Endeavor and Todoroki, they are, somewhat giving credit for the hero killer's capture, since he has burn marks over his body and is very well injured. Now, Todoroki, he would have gotten back to the internship, he would see Deku pull up on the bike with Ida, as he is a bit confused. He would immediately demand for an explanation, as Deku would tell him that he can give him that later. But for now, what was in that deal, Ida? Well, what do I even begin? Listen to me. Those deals are tricky. If you don't know how he works, then you are going to get someone killed. Or have what you want completely the opposite. Oh, I want a puppy. He gives you a fucking hellhound. Oh, I want to be rich and famous. You end up poor and in the dirt. Listen to me. It never works out for you, unless you know his tricks. To which Todoroki would be confused by all of this, as Ida would just say that he made sure that his brother could be a hero, as Deku would just sigh. And, well, yeah, that was not easy, since the next time Ida goes to visit, well, Ingenium, he finds that the damage to his legs and his engines, they would be irreversible. So not only does he have to retire, he has to, well, get those engines taken out, since they would be too heavy and too straining on the body to have to constantly maintain. Since one of them was already damaged, but now just doing the surgery to take one out would be a bit too much, since it would leave the body disproportional. So they had to take both of them out, which would somewhat heartbreak Ida the next time he sees his brother, since he's basically quirkless now. And there is no chance of him becoming Ingenium once again. Now then, that is going to be where I leave this part off, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and please understand, I need to, well, set another alarm clock then, so I don't oversleep.